Is Xbox trying to be too ambitious? That's what I think has happened. With the recent announcement that Crackdown 3 had been delayed to early 2018, is Microsoft and Phil Spencer choosing the wrong battle in this console picture? We have once had countless first-party games, such as Rise, Son of Rome, Sunset Overdrive, Killer Instinct, okay, I won't include Killer Instinct, Project Spark, the Forza games, and of course Halo 5. All within the first 12 to 14 months. Now, the upcoming games library are being spread few and far between. In 2015, there were a total of 7 first-party games released in physical form. This year, there is only going to be 3. Halo Wars 2, Super Lucky's Tale, and Forza Motorsport 7. The Nintendo Switch, not including Mario plus Rabbids or Fire Emblem Warriors, will have at least 7 by the end of the year. Or 8 if you include Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Xbox's exclusive game library has run very thin over the years, and instead of developers like Remedy Entertainment moving on to the next Xbox One-only game, they're moving to multi-platform games. Insomniac Games, who released Sunset Overdrive, is currently developing PlayStation 4's Spider-Man game. Other developers like Lionhead Studios was shut down by Microsoft after over 15 years of the Fable franchise, and cancelled the long-in-development Scalebound that Platinum Games was developing. So, why hasn't Microsoft been able to produce as many games as they have before? I think this reason, aside from canceling projects and shutting down studios, is that they're putting all their eggs in one basket. Sony got a huge head start from the PlayStation 4 because of the $500 price that the Xbox One had in 2013, bundled with the Kinect, that almost nobody asked for. The Xbox was the all-in-one entertainment system with a selling point of being able to multitask and do 2 things at once with the console. The price of the competitor was what gave them the advantage when the Xbox 360 was available, as was the first PlayStation that launched $100 less than the Sega Saturn in 1995. You would think by now that being the more expensive console is a big mistake. It was. Now that the Xbox One S is in stores and at half the price of the original Xbox One, you would think that more people would be interested in getting one. If only by then had they have more exclusive games on the market, because after a period of time in which there are dozens of PS4-only games, and not much to get consumers to buy an Xbox One, the damage had already been done. So, what is Microsoft's strategy? Considering that the PS4 has slightly more power than Xbox One, maybe Phil Spencer assumed that gamers want better graphics, because how else could you explain the Xbox One X? How else could you explain the few titles they have in development that are costing the brand tens of millions of bucks? I really think that all their resources are going to fewer, more ambitious games and hardware. Forza, a franchise that was always known to have high-end visuals. Crackdown, even though it was never a series that touted impressive visuals. Now they delay it to make it look more impressive, as well as optimizing cloud destruction, advanced visuals and physics. Well, who asked for these features? Who asked for these games to cost so much money to make? Who is the Xbox One X for? Because from what I have seen so far, there is much left to be desired. With the next consoles, we should eventually get there in 5 to 10 years. They wouldn't be in the situation they are choosing to be in if they just took their time and had several smaller games in development instead of 1 or 2 more ambitious games that their hardware can't handle. Even Cuphead looks too ambitious. Then again, regardless of what year it is, hand drawing takes an awfully long time. You don't need much to attract gamers. All you need are games that only your console has. That's basically it. It's one thing to try to be ahead of the curve and be the first to achieve the graphical accomplishments, but at what cost? How many copies do they think these games would sell? Now that with these high-power games getting delayed and cancelled, it just would have made better sense to wait for technology that was more capable of it. Nintendo didn't make a 3D console right away with the N64, they took their time so that all their games look polished with 64 bits and not in 32 bits. It's not the time for a game like Scalebound, it's not the time for a game like Crackdown 3. Those could have been great builds for Scalebound 2 and Crackdown 4 instead. Their pursuit of 4K and 60 FPS with the Xbox One X is simply the wrong battle they chose. It's a fight they know they cannot win. I don't think Sony's high-end visuals are all that important either, but they have been a well-oiled machine ever since the PlayStation 1. Not only do they have the funding for multiple game studios, but they have strong relationships with numerous third-party developers to the point where they can only put their game on PlayStation and not worry that it won't sell good. But, is this the point of no return for Xbox? I hope not, but what can do at this point?